My family and I started to come to Black Rock after COVID, and Gavin and I started to attend Fusion, and we became part of the student leadership team, and we got an opportunity to go on Lead Week, which was a discipleship training event, and we were there for that weekend, and Kevin pulled me and Gavin aside and told us that my mom was on the phone, and she then informed us that my grandmother passed away in a tragic car accident. All that was running through my mind was like, this isn't happening. Sorry. So yeah, my heart just broke, and there's no other way that I can put it.
Colleen called and shared that her mom had passed away in a tragic car accident. It was one of those calls you never want to get. Instantly, your heart just begins to break for this whole family. As we shared the news with Gavin and Hannah, we saw grief just pour all over them. Then our adult leaders and our students just began to rally around them and immediately just began praying for them. Liv Leonard, one of our adult leaders, and I, we loaded in the car and drove Gavin and Hannah all the way back home. To see them care for each other on the drive home and then watch them just collapse in the arms of their mom and dad was both heart-wrenching, and yet it was an honor to be with a family and to try to support them as best we could. Really, we just wanted to be like Jesus to them in that moment, to love them, to pray for them, hug them, and try to serve them any way we could. The kids were part of our ministry for a few years, but in that moment, it really wasn't a ministry, it was a family, a kingdom family. And that's really what we're called to be.
In my quiet time in the morning, God sent me that song by Lauren Daigle, and it's Rescue, and it talks about God sending you an army in your darkest days. And at that time, I didn't realize that my army was here at Black Rock Church.
Yeah, and I kind of came through a fog. I even realized that we had to tell the kids, and they were already halfway home. Kevin and Liv were bringing them. There was no even hesitation. And when Kevin and Liv came into the house, and prayed with us, and Liv led the prayer. I was just so impressed that such a young girl, early 20s, was able to come into our darkest moment and just pray with us. And I could really see that something was different with the student ministry at Black Rock.
During the next year, we watched the student ministry team just love on Gavin and Hannah, give them the strength on really the hard days and just push through.
And watching the way that the leaders and the leadership at Fusion came alongside the kids, I could tell something was different, but it took me a while to figure out what it was. And what it was is that they followed Jesus and they genuinely loved God. And through that, I just watched how my kids were blessed and the church is blessed.
And because of those moments, it's when we felt God calling us to be part of the student ministry team.
I feel like through the entire thing, Fusion had well supported me in the trials, and that just continued to show me what it looks like to create safe spaces and honor your students. And just as God showed me my call to ministry, I ended up interning here because of moments like this, where they showed me what good God-honoring ministry looks like.
Right now, it is unbelievably difficult to be a young person in our culture and in our world. Gavin and Hannah had a level of support because they'd been part of our student ministry and they had built some connections with our kids and our adult leaders. The truth is, all kids are facing difficulties and we all need a kingdom family. The purpose of our student ministry is to help them in their journey, to have a deep relationship with God and to have a community, to have real and lasting friendships, to support them, to love them, and to care for them, all of them. We want kids to connect with our adult leaders, to be encouraged, to be spiritually mentored, to be taught how to follow Jesus in their everyday lives. We want to see our kids become passionate and resilient followers of Jesus. We want you to be a part of that. We invite you to be a part of that. Pray for them, support them, Get involved in serving them. Show them Jesus' love, his truth, and be the kingdom family that this generation is longing for.